And from a war zone to a water cooler, veterans returning from Iraq and Afghanistan have to get back to their civilian lives, and many times that starts with finding work. Here to tell us about attracting and keeping veterans on the job is Emily King, president of MyMilitaryTransition.com. What a perfect title for a website, because this transition is very important, particularly now with this economy. A lot of competition for the same jobs. Military members in particular are finding that there's more of them out there because of the downsizing going on right now. Where do they start?
Well, there are a lot of resources available to them that aren't centralized, so a lot of people don't know where to look. There are job boards, the VA has a lot of resources, the Department of Labor. Certainly they should be using social networking like LinkedIn, even Facebook perhaps.
They're going from a very organized, regimented life to pounding the pavement with everybody else in the civilian workforce, looking for jobs. Oftentimes they don't know how to make the personal connections and polish the apple, so to speak, because they're used to getting jobs based upon merit, when in the civilian sector it's based upon politicking quite often.
In some cases that's true.
What do they do?
Well, I think to recognize that this is going to be a new world, a new experience. They'll feel like beginners, and so to get as much experience and networking, telling your story, and talking to people who might have connections as possible so that you're comfortable with people that you don't know.
Is it a way, too, of managing their resumes? Because, you know, a military resume versus a civilian resume can be two different things about the jobs and your skills that you want to put out there.
That's very true, and that's something that I think businesses are starting to get a hold of, is the fact that a military resume looks very different because a military career develops very differently. And so if you focus just on the most recent position that the individual had in the military, that doesn't tell the whole story at all, whereas it might tell much more about a civilian resume.
Emily, are you getting feedback from some of the clients out there, people in the military who are coming back? What are some of the things you're hearing from them?
Well, I work a lot with veterans who are starting out in their first civilian job. And one of the main things I hear is how different it is. So expectations going in aren't set, or they're not level set properly. They think it will be like the military, more like the military than it is. But I think they're finding that organizations are very receptive to them. There are a lot of resources, but it's confusing because, as I said, they're not centralized in any one place.
Now, do you try to raise their expectations or lower them? How long should they expect to wait until they find that first hit? It only takes one. It takes one good job and offer to come along, but how long are you telling them they should wait?
Well, you know, it's a good question, and I don't make any promises. Certainly that's not the business that I'm in, but I will say that I hear a lot about spending time submitting online resumes and online applications for employers and never hearing anything.
Exactly.
It goes into a black hole. And that's a very common experience, and that's why networking really is the best way to get a job.
And they should be patient, because to answer the question I asked you, I would think it might take a year, right, to get that job. It could take anywhere from 6 months to a year.
Certainly.
Emily King, thanks, and good luck to all the vets out there too.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.